you have the opportunity. I think it's up to you whether you want to decide to choose to focus on what you can control instead of what you cannot control. I mean, no one is out there intentionally wanting you to fail. The truth is that we live in some of the best time today.
So how much in revenue are you guys pulling in right now with your revenue share?
I would say for the agency, we're only bringing probably about $1 million a year.
Today, I have a really special guest. He's one of the leading marketers in Southeast Asia. He runs SN Marketing and a few other businesses, I assume. You used to upload quite a fair bit of YouTube videos back in the days.
Yeah.
And I think during COVID, I consumed them quite a fair amount. But I haven't seen much videos since then. And I don't really want to ask you questions about your past because I think a lot of people have asked you already. Yeah. So I'll ask you new things that no one has asked you before. Hopefully, it's intriguing and fun.
Okay.
So thanks for being here, Gabriel. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Awesome. So the first question is, why have you stopped uploading YouTube videos?
So that's a very interesting question because quite a number of people have asked me that.
Yeah.
But you're the first to ask me in the actual interview.
Okay.
I mean, the truth is just I just got caught up in life. And I think that it's quite normal, right? For people who are maybe even content creators to take a break. I have a newborn. I have 2 daughters now.
Congrats.
Yes. So things can get very busy at home. I think it's all about prioritization, and ultimately content creation is more towards my business and my career.
Yeah.
And there are times that when I have too many things going on, or too many things in my plate, right? I have to learn to prioritize which is more important first.
Yeah.
So I think this is a period of time where last year I went through a bit of a dry season, a bit of a downtime for myself where I wasn't taking care of my mental health. I wasn't taking care of my own physical health as well. And I realized I needed to put more focus on that because my family is important.
Yeah.
So I need to take care of myself so I can take care of my family. And therefore, I had to kind of choose what I did. And yeah, so it's really more of like 6 months of a break, rediscovering of like who I am again. And also, putting more prioritization on my own health, myself.
Do you believe in the theory that it starts with the physical first, mental, then business and family? Or do you believe there's a other way of forming this arrangement when it comes to your health?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think, so there was a period of time that health wasn't in my top priority.
Why not?
I don't know. I think it's just the way I was brought up.
Right.
I was brought up with, I didn't brought up with an environment or role model who put health as the number one. I used to have role models where drinking every night at nightclubs to get business is the norm. There are still this group of people.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I guess drinking is fun once in a while when you're young, right?
Yeah. No, but for them it's a way. It's like, it's how you get business. It's like, if you don't drink, you cannot get business.
Right.
And there are some industries too like that. Some traditional industry. I think like, I don't want to name any industry, but like traditional industries are like that. If you want to get a business, these people will want you to drink with them. And if you don't drink with them, right, they won't let you into the inner circle. So you have to like be part of that culture. And many of the culture is not very very healthy. But of course now this is starting to disappear, starting to fade off with the new generation. But that was how I grew up, right? I grew up smoking, drinking, things that are generally not good for my health, right?
Yeah.
And business has always been like priority, making money first. But as I grew older, I realized that if I really truly care about providing value to the world, if I truly care about my family, which eventually became one of the top priority for myself, I need to take care of my health. Because if I don't take care of my health, I have no energy to take care of my business. I have no energy to take care of my family. So it's all about reprioritization. And in fact, if I take care of my health first, business and family becomes a lot easier.
Okay.
Right? Because if you have a sharp mind on a daily basis, you can make better decisions. That's your being hangover and drunk every day.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Who's your idol in that sense? Is it David Goggins? Do you watch Andy Elliott? Any of these other US-based extreme people talks about health, then going back to your home and having that special energy to give to your family? I don't know if you listen to their...
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so the things that I follow a lot of people's content.
Yeah.
David Goggins is someone that I don't really follow.
Oh, you don't follow David Goggins?
I mean, I follow, but I don't really follow his content.
Right.
Not that I don't like it, but just for some reason, it is not my cup of tea.
Okay.
So I grew up in an environment where a lot of what I do when I was younger is self-effort. It's all self-effort. Which means that, like, you don't feel like it, you just gotta do it, screw your feelings.
It's a very Asian environment.
But pretty much what David Goggins is all about.
Yeah.
Right? And again, nothing wrong with that. I think there's a stage where in your life where you just have to push through.
Yeah.
But I find that it becomes very tiring for my soul and my spirit after a long time. So as a Christian, I became a real believer couple years back. And since I have a personal relationship with Christ, I learned a different set of success rules. The word success is all about I have to do it by my own effort. I have to achieve this or that by my own effort.
Yeah.
But it gets tiring. And actually, sometimes that creates pride, because when you achieve things by your own effort, you call yourself a self-made man. You know, a lot of that is like, I achieved success by myself. So I felt like God was changing my rules of success. That my success in my life comes from grace, from blessings that I do not deserve. So I started to believe more in that. You know, where on days that I don't feel like it, I will rely on God's grace to carry me through the day. Not my own self-effort, where I just do it out of my own will and my own determination. I find that I've kind of like passed that stage of my life. And that life is where I didn't pay a lot of attention to my mental health. So I did achieve a level of success, but I wasn't happy.
Yeah, got it.
I wasn't happy living like that every day. So yeah, that's a bit of a spiritual journey. So that's why I don't follow that. And but I started my whole biohacking journey, or like looking into health and things. Initially it was from Tony Robbins, actually.
Okay.
He's like, I feel like one of the few godfather of biohacking, because actually his first book is about health. His first ever book is Unlimited Powers. Yeah, so people think that he's just a motivational speaker. Yeah. But actually he spent a lot of time in his first book talking about your physical well-being, right? The food you put in your body, right? So it's one of the early days of biohacking, before biohacking was even a term.
Right.
And then of course Tim Ferriss, 4-Hour Body.
Yep.
So those were the early days. So I think I got my interest from there. And then I think slowly throughout the years, I started to pay more attention to my health, because I feel that if I set up as a priority, everything else becomes easier.
Awesome. You look completely different now, by the way, from your YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys click on Gabriel Wong's channel and click on his last uploaded video and look at his arms, right now, I think it's at least like twice the size. But what were your stats in terms of body weight, body fat, and what are your stats right now? Just curious.
I don't measure it all the time. Okay. That's not really my... Okay, so I want to just look good. I want to be fit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think now I'm about like I wanted to put on weight, because I look very underweight, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just my frame and all that. So I've been wanting to reach about 75 kg. So I reached that. So since the last video that you guys watched, I was probably at about 68 to 70.
Wow.
So about...
Huge gain, man.
Yeah, about 8 months. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm at about 74, 75 now. Body fat maybe about 14.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. What's your routine? Were you going through a personal training gym? What's the change that you did in terms of training specifically?
Yeah, definitely getting a coach, definitely getting a trainer helps. I have an online trainer. I don't have like a physical trainer.
Online trainer?
Yeah. I have a physical trainer. I think it's good that you have that for to get the form right. If you want to build muscles and all that, you need to get the form right. If not, you're gonna get injuries. And then have an actual coach that you can speak to and talk to. Yeah. For the goals that you want, right? And I feel that the biggest difference is knowing, am I trying to build strength or am I trying to build muscles? There's a big difference. Yeah. And then you will have different kinds, or are you trying to lose weight? They are all different goals. And based on the goals, then they will probably plan something more suitable towards that goal, right? Because there's no one size fit all. So I think having a trainer really make a huge difference in terms of like what I'm eating, my diet, as well as the kind of workout plans that I was, is it sustainable? Yeah, so I just want to give a shout out. I have a trainer called Preston.
Preston.
Yeah, probably
common friend.
Yeah. So he's training me right now.
Awesome.
So he will give me a workout plan. And I think ever since I went on his workout plan, things have changed a lot.
Nice.
Yeah, it's much easier, faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome, because in one of your videos you mentioned that you used to blend chicken breast and a few other things and do that concoction. I personally am quite into biohacking. I don't really blend chicken breast. That's a bit too extreme for me and unsustainable, because I won't look forward to that at all. But are you still doing that?
Yeah.
We're still blending chicken breast. But what has Preston said about that?
Okay, so he doesn't tell me exactly what to eat.
Okay.
The word that you used was sustainability, right?
Yeah.
Is it sustainable? I think that's important. Anything you want to do, the method that you're using, right? Is it sustainable for you? Right? Just like how there's no one way to make money, right? There are many ways to get rich.
Yeah.
But which is the way that's suitable for you, and is it sustainable?
Okay.
So for me, blending chicken breast is one of the best way for me to heat my protein, and because I like to work, right? As I'm working, I can drink, so I don't have to take out time to eat.
Got it.
Which is another thing out of my way. So that's sustainable for me. So you gotta find something that is sustainable for you. Enjoy it. For me, I enjoy the chicken breast because I am more productive. I don't have to think about what to eat.
Okay.
I hit my macros.
Awesome.
Okay. And recently I found another formula that makes it a lot more enjoyable.
Please share that.
Yes. It's a So there's this company right now that they're selling this mango chicken breast blend.
Okay.
In
Singaporean brand?
Singaporean blend, yes. So I bought it and it actually tastes delicious. So I kind of just reverse engineer the ingredient using ChatGPT.
Shout out to ChatGPT and Elon.
I put a whole entire nutritional value into ChatGPT.
Okay.
And then because they will say the ingredient list, right? They don't say how many grams of each ingredient, but based on the nutritional value and the ingredient list, I put it into ChatGPT to kind of reverse engineer. So not that I didn't want to support that company, but I think it was like $16 for like maybe 60 grams of protein.
Oh, that's decent, man.
Yeah, that's decent already.
Yeah.
I just really want to bring down the cost a lot more, so that it's a really long-term sustainable.
Right.
So yeah, I'm now having a different blend, which is either a pineapple or mango chicken breast blend.
Okay.
Yeah, it tastes delicious.
I'm really curious now. What's your routine? So you wake up, you have that blend. Tell me your routine right now.
I work out in the morning first.
Yeah.
You know,
What time do you wake up roughly?
I wake up usually about 7, not like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
You know,
Not
so that's
extreme, yeah.
again, what's sustainable to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a point in time that I was like, successful people must wake up at 5. And I tell you that's bullshit. Really, you gotta find what is suitable for you.
Yeah.
You know, I think Jeff Bezos doesn't wake up at 5 a.m. Right, so it's not for everybody.
He doesn't even need to wake up, right? Honestly, at any time.
But when he was running Amazon, I think his timing is about 7 to 8.
Okay.
Yeah. So 5 a.m. is not like for everybody. Okay. But yeah, that's for me. 7 a.m. I wake up. I will send my daughter to school, and because of that, I was able to stack my habits to. Since I'm already waking up, right? Since I'm sending my kids to school, I will just squeeze in a gym period after I send my daughter to school. So I will gym first. My routine is just what Preston gave me. It's a very simple 45-minute workout. Once I'm done, I'll go back, have a protein shake, and I'll start working.
So you do a fasted workout in the morning?
Yeah, most of the time fasted. And then after a protein shake, I would work. And as I'm working, I will start drinking and sipping on my chicken breast. Yeah.
I like the hesitation, my chicken breast.
Yeah. So that's what I do. Yeah. So I start work. I'll have meetings, but that's the good thing about me blending my food, because I like to just drink it when I'm working or even when I start having meeting. And then I would sometimes pick my kids at about 5.
So you'll be working till 5? By
Usually about 5 or 6.
Okay.
I do my best to cut off work time at 6.
Okay.
Yeah, unless I have like a webinar or something that like it's a one-off thing. But I do my best to cut off at 6, because after that I want to prioritize my family. I want to spend my time with my daughter, because she's not home most of the time. She's in preschool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They grow up so fast, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you feel it right now, or you're still cherishing the moment when they're kids, right? I mean, they're 2 years old and 5 months.
2 years old and 8 months, yes. I mean, at this age right now, there are of course challenges.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm treasuring every moment.
Did you ever have a moment when you were younger that you said to yourself, I want kids?
Not really a strong desire, gotta be honest.
So how did that desire change over time?
I think my wife. So I love my wife, right?
Yeah.
And she loves kids.
Okay.
Yeah, she loves kids. And I think even before we got married, she already told me that she wants kids.
Yeah.
Multiple times. And so we had an agreement that we're gonna get married and not have kids for the first 2 years, so we can just enjoy each other.
Okay.
And so it was just basically a matter of time. So that was what happened after the 2 years. It was time. But I think also at the same time, I felt like God was working in my heart. He was adding this desire to have kids.
Yeah.
And it was during circuit breaker actually, during the lockdown. So I felt I was like after work every day, because we cannot go out, right? So I'm just at home, I'm sitting in my sofa. I remember there was this moment, just thinking to myself, wow, the house is quite quiet. Maybe we should have kids. That was how it started. And now it's like always noisy. So yeah, I think it was just a simple desire of knowing that that's probably a legacy. And yeah, I think today I wish I had kids earlier, to be honest.
Okay. How old are you right now?
I'm 31 this year.
Oh, okay. You're a really young dad, man. You have 2 kids.
Yes. Yeah.
Elon has 10 on paper.
Yeah.
Would you want to get there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think 10 is a bit too much.
5?
Yeah. With one, I mean, I intend to have one wife for forever, right? But yeah, I think our vision is 4.
4?
4 kids, yeah.
Any gender preference or whatever comes?
I mean, I definitely will hope to at least have a mixture of boys and girls.
Yeah.
So that I get to experience.
One mini Gabriel.
But I'm not like particularly like hard up, like I need to have a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I'm very, very glad to have daughters.
Awesome. Interesting.
Yeah.
You talk about God quite a fair bit. Now that there's like AI and there's Neuralink, What are your thoughts on these technologies coming into our life, especially Neuralink, right? It comes into your brain as an implant. I'm not really very educated on it. What are your thoughts on these? Because like if you read the Bible and even the Quran, they talk about these technology coming in and being the end of times in some of the verses, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
I mean, don't quote me on this, but that's basically what my mom is saying as well. Like, you shouldn't be using these technologies. Even crypto is haram in Islam.
Oh, is it?
Like, yeah, certain cryptos. I think most cryptos are haram because of these.
Are you a Muslim, by the way? You just...
I'm born into a Muslim family, but I don't practice. Maybe I'll practice when I'm 20-something years old.
Okay.
You get closer to God as you age, you know.
Yeah.
It's like a typical thing in, I feel like, any family. When you have a parent that's religious and the kids are not very religious, slowly they grow up and then they become religious. I mean, that's a trend that I've seen. But yeah, I'm born into a Muslim family. But I grew up in a church kindergarten, and I went to a boys' school, which is a church dominant school, St. Gabriel. Which school were you from? Secondary school.
Hongkar Secondary School.
Okay, it's not. It was. That's a.
It's one of the top 5 schools in Singapore from the bottom.
From the.
Yeah.
But you guys had a really good soccer team, man.
Yeah, one of the best. I guess.
Yeah, one of the best, bro.
Yeah, but I think nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me.
Yeah. Well, Hongkar always gave us problems, man, back in the days. St. Gabriel boys hated Hongkar boys back in the days, during my time. But anyways, yeah, so back to the topic of religion and like AI technology, Neuralink, etc. Even space travel, how do you see religion coming into play with these?
I don't think they're on like, I don't think they are separate. Like, I don't think science or technology is against religion in any way. I think that, I know there are some group of religious people, they think that way, right? But if you really think about it, technology is just a way for us to be more productive, a way for us to do more with less. And if you really look at like in the past few thousand years, because of technology, we stopped killing each other.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, in the past, I mean, it took us like, 5,000 years, right? Before man decided that, hey, going to war against each other is bad. Okay, I know there's still war right now. I'm talking about in the past, like, you know, one dynasty conquering another place, empire.
Yeah.
And that's because in the world, it used to be a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
Right? So I have a land, and let's say there's a famine.
Yeah.
If there's a famine, I cannot do anything about it. There'll be shortage of food. So now it's either I die or you die. So I'm going to kind of conquer you to take your land, because if not, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Right? That's basically one of the factors when they go to war. But because of technology, we can produce so much more today. Okay, there's no point. That in fact now common prosperity is even better, because why go to war when we already have more than abundance of food, right? Because now you can actually produce, like, even when there's a famine, you can produce food. Okay, so I think technology is actually a good thing to move us forward. It actually helps us to share common prosperity and to produce more than enough and abundance for everyone.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
That is agreeable. That's reasonable. But like when technology gets into your actual body, when you put Neuralink into your brain, etc., and they say it could alter your mind. I mean, that's, I guess the early stages of Neuralink is to help like people who are paralyzed, etc. And that's great, right? Yeah. But when is it too much, in your opinion? Or do you feel it's fine?
Yeah. So okay, again, I'm not a complete expert in this. I think that's where maybe blockchain technology comes in, because when you have say a centralized body or centralized company puts chip in your brain, what if that centralized body gets corrupted?
Yeah.
And they can choose to do whatever they want with your brain, right? And that's where I think I draw the line.
Yeah.
But if it's a decentralized, if it's something decentralized, maybe it's different. I don't know.
Right.
So again, I'm not a real expert in this field, but overall, I feel that technology has helped us move forward. We are already a bio being in a way. We're already using technology. Like our phone is just a second. It's already a second brain.
Yeah.
But whether to put it in you and is it safe or not, that's not my area of expertise, I guess.
Okay. Do you support Elon Musk?
I mean, most of my wealth is in Tesla, but
I'll talk to you about that in a bit. Okay, most of the wealth is in Chicken Genius's advice, right? Put.
You know what's interesting? Yeah. So I knew Ken many years back in 2018 when he started sharing about Tesla and he's going all in Tesla.
Right.
I think back then it was before it had that more than 20x of gains. So yeah, I actually started investing since then. But from there, I of course built up my own thesis about Tesla, right? I mean, if you're just buying because somebody else says it's good, when things get shaky, that's where you might not hold on to the stock, right? Because you don't have your own conviction. Okay, maybe one of the best book I've read about technology is this book called In the Inevitable. I think it's by Kevin Kelly. So it talks about the 12 technological forces that is inevitable. Okay, and this book I think was released in 2017 or 2018, I can't remember. And it kind of predicted the rise of like cryptocurrency, AI, screening, which is why I'm a big fan of like how Apple is creating the Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, you're a big fan of that.
I'm a big fan of that. I think that's going to be the next iPhone.
It's destroyed what's Facebook's version called?
Meta?
Oculus?
Oculus, yeah. Yeah. So I think that is the next thing that will replace iPhone. I know some people don't agree, but if you read the book, that 12 technological forces, it fits in perfectly. Yeah. Okay. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I invest in Tesla as well. I see the value of a real world AI, which is what they're really doing.
Okay.
Self-driving cars and
My friend gives me a lot of shit whenever I tell them I love Tesla cars. Yeah. They're like, bro, it's ugly. Why do you want to get this? I'm like, I don't get it because I never grew up with cars. Yeah. Neither do I like cars particularly. Maybe I will like it when I buy one or when I need one when I have kids. What are your thoughts on Tesla cars? Specifically the design, because a lot of guys don't like them. I don't know why. It just seems to be a common theme.
I don't think you can get everyone to like a product.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how many people hate on Apple also. They are still the biggest.
True.
Right? They don't own 100% of market share right now.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be. Elon Musk has already said specifically that he believed conservatively they would own 25% of EV market. Now they are the majority, but eventually as more companies start opening up and start taking on EV adoption, which is already happening, they would own at least 25% of the market share, and that's already multi-trillion market value.
Yeah.
But obviously right now it seems like they are still the majority.
Yeah.
And I think they will be for a long time. But yeah, so I think if you always find a few exception people that say they don't like certain product, it doesn't represent the whole market. You know, there are people who love Tesla. You know, so for me, I just look at it from a very objective view. There will always be people who love it, people who hate it. But the main thing is that do they have raving fans? And there are a lot of raving fans of Tesla cars.
And you're a raving fan of Tesla cars?
I didn't buy a Tesla car, that's the thing.
Okay.
I think it's just too expensive in Singapore.
Oh, it's too expensive in Singapore. Okay. So price is the only objection.
Yes. Okay. For me to make sense, yeah. I mean, in US, I think Tesla Model 3 now is even cheaper than a Toyota. So it makes perfect sense there. Okay. But in Singapore right now, I mean, the COE is like, you have to pay like what? 130,000 right now? That's for a 10-year COE.
Yeah.
I just don't really feel that it's like, makes a lot of sense at this point of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in terms of design and aesthetics, are you a fan?
I think it looks good.
Awesome. Cool, man. Cool. Talk to me about your agency. I want to just know, like, how many clients are you currently serving? Because in one of your videos, you mentioned that you have a wait list of clients and you do 100K setup plus revenue sharing. Are you still doing that or has your model evolved?
Pretty much the same thing right now.
Okay.
I mean, we have evolved to that. Now we're taking a bit more profit sharing. And the number of clients we're taking in usually only range from around 10 to 15. We don't take in a lot of clients. And I think I shared in my videos that the reason is because I didn't have an end in mind to always run an agency. Agency is just a way for me to build my credibility, for me to build the systems I needed. And ultimately I wanted something that is more scalable, which is why we started going into softwares. We started going into selling Salesable, which is a SaaS. And we feel that that's a lot more scalable, right? So the agency is really just a backbone, a way for us to have like our own marketing team.
Yeah.
You know. So now it's about 10, 15 people, usually just at one point of time. And usually they'll range about a total of about 100K a year, including retainers. And
100K is a setup or just...
Setup usually about 40, 50K.
Okay.
And then after that, it will be a retainer like 5 to 10K with a certain percentage peak.
Right. Okay. So currently you have about 15 clients.
Yeah, usually about 10 to 15 right now. So I forget what's the exact numbers because now I have a head of agency that's running it. Right. So I don't know exactly at any point of time how many are they.
Okay.
But usually a range about 10 to 15.
Okay. So how much in revenue are you guys pulling in right now with your revenue share, if you're pool sharing?
I would say for the agency, we're only bringing probably about $1 million a year.
Okay. And that's where the bulk of your business...
north of $1 million a year, yeah.
Okay, that's where the bulk of your money comes from currently in terms of cash flow, or do you have other businesses?
Yeah, so then the next one is software.
Okay.
Yeah, so software right now we only started about 2 years back, 1.5 years ago.
You started Salesable 1.5 years ago?
Yeah, 1.5 years ago.
That's quite a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've heard of Peng Joon. He's coming this week.
Yes.
To sell, I guess it's your direct competitor, in fact, if he's selling in Singapore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, a lot of people are catching on to this SaaS software. Talk to me about it. How did you catch it on so early though? Because now, I think this year specifically, a lot of people are trying to do what you are doing. And, you know, we have bigger figures like Ping and...
Yeah, I mean, that's always a natural progression, right? When I first did it, I think I was maybe one of the few to do it in Asia. At least in Singapore, I'm the first.
Yeah,
definitely.
Definitely we are the first.
Southeast Asia, maybe I might be the first to do it. Or at least at the scale of reaching 1,000 users. So yeah, we hit about 1,000 users within the first 1.5 year.
Wow, and 1,000 users in the first year of launch.
Yes.
Oh, awesome, man.
Yeah. Of course, there'll be churn and all that, but at least we hit 1,000 people who have paid for the subscription.
Yeah.
Then of course we have competitors like Pingjun, all that come in. Pingjun is a friend, but I feel that we are in a slightly different market. You know, so yeah, there will be some competition, but I think the market is big enough for us. It's just like how, you know, when we talk about the story of Elon, right, where he doesn't mind, like, if Tesla is just 25% of the market, it's big enough, because there are a lot more awareness on digital marketing today, and it's still growing, at least in parts of Asia. It's still growing. Like you yourself said that even gym, like, because you serve a lot of gym clients, right, many of them don't even have a proper lead generation system.
They don't even know what is lead generation.
Some of them might still be running ads for reach or boost posts.
Dude, some still do use out flyers, man.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
So there are a lot of these kind of subcategories and sub-niche that is hard to penetrate if you're just being too generic. So for us, we have always been focusing a lot more on sales service professional. That's always been our niche, and we're starting to niche down a lot into small local businesses.
Okay.
So I think that's where we can continue to dominate. I hope, you know. So yeah, I think I don't like to spend a lot of time on the competitors, on focusing on competitors. I like to spend more time on focusing on our customers. Yeah, and we have developed more features because what we did initially was just white label, but we started to develop a lot more features within our software that our competitors probably don't have right now, and that probably will give us more winning edge, because like you know, again, like, I don't focus on the competitor. I just focus on what my customer need. So when they first started out using our software, you know, if they're not creating their funnels, they're not creating their marketing campaigns, we started to really speak to them and ask, like, why are you not doing so? And then we realized that, okay, many of them have struggled with copywriting, for example. So that's where we created our own AI copywriting software to help them to generate, first of all, research on their ideal client, and then from there, generate all the copies that they need. So again, it comes from listening to our own customer, not listening to the competitor.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's how we feel that we'll continue to stay ahead in the coming years.
Got it. I think you even made a video on that. That was a 100 million plan, right?
Yeah.
How far are you on that? Or how close are you, maybe?
I don't know though. So the thing is, it's very hard to evaluate a private company. Because now my company is 100% bootstrap, and I haven't really so this is something I don't know about, right? Because it's a brand new space. I haven't sold a company before, so that's something I'm still exploring. Maybe I'll just get a business broker, say that I want to sell my company, and see how much is it worth. But I don't know. Maybe we are only about 5-10% where we want to go.
Bro, that's decent. So 5 to 10 is 5 to 10 million already.
I hope so. Alright, so again, it's like, when it comes to this, is very tricky, because there's no one investing in a company, so there's no valuation, right? The valuation is probably just based on PE or what people are willing to pay for.
Yeah.
Right. So we have to see what's in the market. Again, like I also recently learned that selling a company, it's all about marketing. It's about who's your buyer.
Yeah.
Right. You could sell to people who are just buying company for the sake of growing their cash flow, or they're just buying company because they want to flip it. And those companies who want to buy because they want to flip because they will generally give a higher valuation. Right. So again, this is a new space. I'm trying to meet more people who have sold a company before to learn some. But yeah, hopefully it's around there. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on boring businesses? Because right now we're talking about SaaS, we're talking about agency, talking about all these things that are online, technologically advanced. What about traditional businesses like a brick and mortar, like a gym, I don't know, a salon, etc.? Do you believe in these businesses? Would you be open to investing in these businesses, acquiring any of these, and scaling it with your skill set? You get what I mean? So instead of being the marketer, you own the business and you scale it with your skill set.
Yeah. That's actually one of the paths I think I might go if I were to sell my company. Because right now I feel that all my focus should be on my current company right now. I didn't want to spend a lot of time thinking about other types of businesses. I mean, we still take in clients. That's why I still have my agency. We still take in clients. And from there, I will still at least have an idea of how the market works for certain industry.
Yeah.
And that could be the plan, meaning that some of the clients that we work with, because now we have a profit split model, we could work into even a plan of even investing in that business,
Right.
and then using our marketing system to scale. I think it's still all going back to like how much they are willing to innovate and how much we're willing to spend on the innovation. Because there are a lot of this kind of business where you say traditional business that they are so complacent, they have been using the system they've been using 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I feel that there's a lot of ways to use the blue ocean strategy to come in and kind of innovate on like raising value and decreasing costs. And there are many things that we can do.
Yeah.
But again, it's just, you just need so much headspace to do it. And I just don't have the headspace right now to do that. If I sell my company and so the thing is, I don't think I will just retire 100%. I never believe in retirement. I believe the next progression for me, if I do manage to sell my company and I do exit, is to just start buying companies that I feel that I could turn around, and do that as my living.
Yeah. Do you know Dan Pena?
Yes,
It's like it's a really old white guy that shouts at people and tells like, you gotta.
Yeah, I saw some of his video.
He teaches people, is his QLA mastermind. He just teaches people how to like acquire businesses and flip them for profits. So that's what he teaches a lot of people that I think that like us, like agency owners or marketers or startup from the online space. He say if you want to build like lifelong wealth, that's what you need to do. Acquire these businesses and these like people that are running these businesses, they don't really have the passion and drive anymore. You come in, you put your energy in, your systems in, and you scale that. But let's say if you were forced to choose a business right now, a traditional business, what would it be to scale? What would be the easiest for you to scale in your opinion with the current set of knowledges that you have acquired?
It's really hard to say, but I think I would go more towards the health wellness space. Health wellness space, yeah. I think that is really a growing market. A lot of wellness centers, gyms, and even talking about gyms, I think I'm talking about like really traditional, like maybe even the pain market, the chronic pain market, for example. There's lack of innovation there.
Yeah.
Like people are still using same things that they have been using, like what I said 5-10 years ago. If you go to certain spas, for example, because they have been so used to serving old customers, right? You go to those spas, they're still doing the traditional way of running a spa, and it's just sometimes very old school.
Okay.
So coming ways to think of new innovation, new ideas, new offers. Like I have a friend who was able to acquire a company, and I think he grew the company's revenue.
A traditional company, or is it like an online?
Yeah, I think it was a beauty or facial company.
Okay.
So it's very traditional, right?
What was his background?
He's a poker player, and I don't know what's his background after that. Yeah, so he was a poker player. I think he made money there. After that, he started. He told me that he acquired a company, and the things that he was doing for this company was quite innovative. Like for example, a lot of facial companies would just the traditional way, right? They will sell you a trial, and then from there they will try to hard sell you some packages, right?
Yeah.
And people know this.
Yeah.
Right? It's so old school, right? But he decided to go away from that model and completely wipe out completely take away packages.
Okay.
So he changed his model to a monthly subscription model.
Okay.
Where I don't know the details of the offer, but basically with monthly subscription, you get to come for a certain number of like facial. But that's what keeps the customer, you see, because it's not like I'm trying to sell you the package, that's it, and then collect a cash upfront, right? But if I put you on a subscription, it means that it becomes a win-win, because if you're not happy, you can cancel anytime, right? I guess like a lot of companies are like that, where remember back in telco days, people lock you down, right? I mean, all these big three companies in Singapore, right? We have Singtel, M1 and StarHub. They didn't innovate, and they just lock you down with a 2-year contract because they have a monopoly in the market, right? But what happens? Everybody started to become unhappy. Of course, there was a point where people cannot do anything about it because they have a monopoly. And then guess what happened? Other companies started coming out, right? We have, of course, we have Circle, right, that first came out and started doing a no more contract.
Yeah.
Remember then?
Yeah.
And they started taking a lot of business away. In fact, it reached a point where StarHub had to do a marketing campaign and say we're sorry.
Really?
Do you know that?
I don't remember.
I went to the cinema. I saw a StarHub.
Sorry.
Yeah, I saw a StarHub campaign, a commercial of StarHub, and they said we are sorry we didn't listen. But here we are listening now. No more contract. Yeah, so they play catch up to a smaller company, which is Circle. I heard that Circle uses M1 anyway, but the point is that they created a whole new front, right? Yeah. And I converted to Circle just simply because, I'm done with contract. Finally a company that decided no more contract. So just small little innovation like that, because there's a lot of frustration in the market. So there are a lot of small frustration like that. Something similar to like wellness centers, right? Where they hard sell you a bunch of packages, massage package or whatever treatment package, right?
Yeah.
what if you could just do a monthly subscription?
Yeah.
You know, so something similar.
You know
Yeah.
Bedros Keuilian?
No.
He talks about that. He scaled his gym businesses as well. He was before Alex Hormozzi. Yeah, he scaled it to like 9 figures, I think. And he did that monthly subscription. So personal training people would sell you like 3K, 5K up front.
Yeah.
Then he said you can come in for personal training session 3 times a week for 4 weeks, and you pay 997 every single month instead of like 5K one up front.
Nice.
And he used that model to scale his business. That was many years back actually. I'm surprised not a lot of businesses are using it.
Again, I think Asia or Singapore, we're a bit slower.
Yeah.
So
What do you think that is?
I don't know. I just think that like we are not a center of innovation here.
Yeah. But we are a financial powerhouse. That's the funniest thing.
It's a different industry. Financial powerhouse is not about innovation. It's about keeping status quo as the way it is. Right? Innovation is completely different.
Yeah.
So I don't think that. I think that's one of the reasons. Like for us in Singapore, okay, it's also the culture.
Yeah.
Like at least for Singapore, we have a culture of not doing something new that is not proven. This is how our government has operated. You know, but for our country, that's needed because they cannot take risks on things that have not been tried before because we are such a small, vulnerable country. If they do that, what happens is that we risk being open to being vulnerable and open to attacks. So Singapore government has always been looking around what is proven and they're taking they're very pragmatic, right?
Yeah.
Taking what's already proven.
Yeah.
But the downside to that is that to innovate, sometimes you have to do things that is not exactly proven in your industry.
That's true.
So I think that's one of the reasons. I don't know 100%. I don't have answers to this. I don't have all the answers to this. But yeah, I think it's good to always study like the US model. US is still the center front of innovation. You know, they still are at the forefront of AI and all space travel. You know, all this different technology. And if you look at what we have in Asia today, you know, like we have Grab, for example. Grab was because
Uber, right?
Yeah, but Uber came first.
Yeah.
The idea came from US, right? A lot of the things that we have today came from there, right? E-commerce, shopping, Amazon, all that. Then before we have our own marketplace like Shopee, and you know, it all came from there. So the ideas came from there. But what they did differently was localization. They take an idea, there's US, but they localize it with localized context, localized to a certain country. A bit like franchise model, right? Why the franchise model works is because if I'm a franchisee, I buy a franchise model, I can localize it. I can add different flavor. Like, you know, there's no such thing as McSpicy in US, right? Yeah. And McSpicy sells very well here because
Curry
Asians,
sauce.
yeah, curry sauce, exactly. And it does very well here, right? Yeah. Localization.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's how it is.
Interesting. How about sports? Are you a big fan of sports? Do you watch football? Do you watch anything really sports related?
No. Yes, for some reason, I don't think I have time for sports.
Okay. What do you do in your free time besides family and work? Do you have any other hobbies?
Oh, yeah. I started taking up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, nice. BJJ? No gi or with gi?
With gi.
Nice.
With gi, traditionally.
Why not with no gi?
I don't know. I think that's just how everyone started. Yeah, I think most traditional BJJ gyms will have more gi session than no gi session. I think it's just the way it is. But yeah, I started out because I had a friend who introduced me a couple of months back. Really love it. I fell in love with it. So I'm now going there.
Nice.
A few times a week.
A few times? How many times a week?
1 or twice, maybe.
Nice.
I'm trying to go 3 times, but I'm also doing gym. So
yeah,
it's just very hard to...
So you're almost like active almost every single day, man.
Yeah, you can say so.
Yeah. What's your physical goal? Like, do you want to hit a certain body weight and have a certain amount of athleticism in yourself? Do you have a specific goal that you're working towards right now?
Honestly, just aesthetic vanity. I just want to... So I have a vision for myself that because ever since I became a father, I didn't want to just succumb to... So okay, my personal vision in life is I never want to succumb to what the world says. Right? The world says that when you get married, you lose freedom. I don't want to succumb to that.
Yeah.
And in fact, that was what happened after I got married. I felt like I actually have more freedom. You know.
Why do you feel like you have more freedom now as compared to before?
Just less thing to think about.
Less desires?
I mean, at least you're just done with dating. You're done with like the whole. Of course, you have to build a proper marriage, right? But I found that I found someone I love. I love in my life, and I don't have to second doubt that, hey, is this person I'm gonna be with anymore? You know, that kind of thing.
I don't think I know the story of how you met your wife for the first time. How did you first meet her? And before that, actually, I want to ask you a question. Before that, how were you like in school as a guy? You seem like you have a very boyish, charming personality. So I don't think you struggle with the ladies. Am I right to say that?
Not 100%, yeah, but I grew up quite socially awkward, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, quite socially awkward. I didn't have, again, I didn't have role models when I was young. I had a pretty, okay, again, in Singapore, it's like tough upbringing, not very tough. But I would say I didn't have very good role model for my parents. And had a slightly abusing father, physically abusive father when I was young. So
I want to high five you on there, but I don't think we should do it.
and I was the only child.
Bonding.
I was the only child.
Okay.
So a lot of the social, like I had to figure out a lot of social dynamics myself. It took me a long time to do it.
Right.
Yeah. So I felt I was quite socially awkward when I was younger. But anyway, to answer your question about my wife, I actually met my wife in a club.
Which club?
It was this very old club called Filter.
Filter?
Yeah, many years ago. And then after that, I met her again. So that was how we know each other. After that, I kind of met her again at Zook, the old Zook.
Were you running table game back in the days? Were you the guy that bought tables and bottles? That was you?
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, trying to be a baller, make some money, opening bottles.
The old Zook, right?
The old Zook, yeah. Wow, yeah, stupid days. But yeah, I met her there. Then started dating. But we were very messy because we didn't come from a family where there's good role model for marriage. So I think we both have our own brokenness, and things were very tough at the beginning. But yeah, I think ever since we started going to church together, we started to have our values realigned, and I think that's where. And we started to have role models.
Wait.
Role models.
I want to pause you right there. So you guys met at a club, you guys got together, etc. dating. When did you guys decide, hey, let's go to a church?
So this was during the period where my life was falling apart. I lost my mother first to cancer. I lost my business. I exited that company that was a Ponzi scheme, right? And so I was in a very low period of my life. I knew that, and why I went to go was just simply because I was desperate.
Right.
When you reach a point where you lost everything, you become desperate. I became desperate. So I went to church simply because hey, God, can you save me?
So your idea at that point was, let me call this girl that I met in a club to a church with me.
We were really kind of dating.
Okay.
We were dating. So there was one, I started going back to church. And so I just asked her, hey, do you want to go with me?
Okay.
Yeah. So back then I also don't know why she said yes, but she said yes. Then we went together and then we just started going on a consistent basis. And I think just by going every week, it became something serious, became part of our lifestyle. And yeah, I think God started to work in our hearts. Eventually she accepted Christ after going a couple of times.
So you accepted Christ before her, or how?
I was a Christian when I was young, when I was like 14.
Yeah.
But backslided because I was in a very legalistic church. A church that tells me that I'm going to go to hell. Right? So because I believe I was going to go to hell, then might as well just go all out, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you do...
Might as well go all out.
If you commit one sin, you're going to go to hell. Yeah. Might as well just sin only one, right? I mean...
That's the logic we always use against our parents.
Exactly. So actually, when you throw the law at someone, right, you tend to stop more sin.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, that's actually a actual Bible verse. The strength of sin is the law. So all these are on hindsight, of course. But I realized I was so rebellious, right, because I was in a legalistic church.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I don't go to church anymore since I'm always because church just reminds me how sinful I am.
Yeah.
Which is not supposed to be the case. Right, because the whole purpose of Christ coming down is to die for our sins and remind us that we are righteous. But of course, there's a few denominational churches that forget about that and they remind you how sinful you are instead.
Okay.
So that was what happened. I was rebellious, and eventually I went back to church because I knew that when I accepted Christ, that there was this peace, there was this happiness, there was this joy in me that I couldn't explain. So when I lost everything, I remembered that peace. So I knew that I had to go back to God some way. Yeah, and it only took me losing everything to go back.
What are your thoughts on Islam then? Because I don't know if you follow Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate. Andrew Tate is now the Islamic brother. Tristan is now the Christian brother.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Islam and Andrew Tate converting to Islam? Yeah.
Again, I don't think I'm an expert in that. So I don't think I can comment that much. But I believe that if you look at Islam, we all share common story, common prophets, as you all call it.
Yeah.
All the way from Abraham, I believe. And there are many similarities, But where I think I differ from is the difference between self-effort as well as self-effort versus godly effort. I think that's just personally for me. Yeah. But I don't understand enough to really...
Have you taken a look at their Romanian court case and seen the evidence that, I mean, apparently there's like not enough evidence and they're being kept against their will in their house, in jails, etc. Do you have any comments on that so far?
Not really. I don't really follow up.
How about the Matrix? The Matrix. I think even Steve and Evan Tan, they talk about their glitches in the Matrix. Luke Belma, one of their partners, talks about the Matrix. Andrew Tate talks about the Matrix. What are your thoughts?
Just to backtrack a bit, right? I just want to say that as a Christian, I think our role is to just love on everybody.
Yeah.
Even people who are non-Christians, even people who are Muslims. Okay, I think that's just my view, and not to create more division, right? Is to unite people, and to love them in unity. Is to unite in love, right? And to love them, despite the differences. Okay, so I think I just want to put it out there first. Regards to the Matrix and all that, I don't know. I don't really follow all this stuff. I just think that so there was someone called Alex Becker. Are you familiar with this guy?
Alex Becker.
So he said something that was very interesting in one of his tweets. He said that there's no Matrix attacking him. I mean, all these are just made up things, right?
That was a recent video.
Yeah. And when I saw the video, I was like, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, no one is out there intentionally wanting you to fail. The truth is that we live in some of the best time today.
Yeah.
Okay? We live in a time where nobody can come to your house. Because I don't know why recently I was reading up a lot of during the Viking age, right? Like, you could be in a village and one day, they can just come and
pillage and rape
and
women and
take your children and sell them as slaves.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at history in the world, we live in the best time, one of the best time.
One of the most, yeah.
We live in a time where, we can just, if you want to achieve something, unless you're really born in a slum and there's extreme poverty, there's exception, right? But if you are living in a place like the developed country, you have the opportunity. I think it's up to you whether you want to decide to choose to focus on what you can control instead of what you cannot control. I think choosing to focus on like, hey, there's this matrix controlling me is things that I cannot control.
Yeah.
Right. But I get the whole purpose of that. I mean, in marketing, we call it throwing stones. We call it creating an enemy. Because if you want to unite people, one of the best way to unite people is to unite them against a common enemy. Right. Okay. Dictator does that. So is political leaders. So does political leaders.
Got it.
So they always want to unite against a common enemy. That's one of the easiest way you unite people together.
Awesome. What's one advice you would give to someone maybe doing online marketing in the agency space and they want to be where you are right now, financially and even mentally? What's one advice you would give these people? Because a lot of people, I don't know if you're familiar with Iman Gadzi, but there's a lot of gurus out there creating like SMMA agency owners. What's that one advice you would give to them? Because you are quite experienced in the online marketing scene.
I would say just start from somewhere.
Yeah.
And just start. Start, but learn to think really long term. I think I was very hard on myself in the beginning because I felt like I had to achieve something in a short period of time. And especially we live in the social media world where, like we have like young kids, balling and...
Man, I did meet these kids sometimes. Yeah. Really spending their money.
But some of it is like, if you really dig deeper, right, a lot of it is not what it seems.
Yeah.
Some of it could be a show.
Yeah.
And not exactly real, right? So I'm not discounting, there are some people who really made it, but they are very small exceptions. It's just like saying like Mark Zuckerberg became a billionaire at 23. He was the youngest billionaire, right?
Yeah.
But how many of us can be like that? Let's just accept that. It's likely not.
Yeah.
There's always a very small, like you cannot compare your life to someone who won the lottery.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way. So I would say be easy on yourself. Learn to think longer term, like really a longer term of like 5-10 years. When I first started, I put a lot of pressure on myself to achieve something 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, because I'm going to make a lot of money and things like that. But now I look back, like it's been about, since I started my MLM journey all the way to an agency, it's been about 13, 14 years of journey. I think digital marketing maybe about 7-8 years. I think a lot of what I have today is because of that 7-8 years journey. It wasn't that 1 or 2 years. So really thinking long term.
Okay.
Right? Start from somewhere.
Yeah.
Try different niche and then niche down. Niche down to become a specialist in a certain area. That's how you can charge more money. But once you niche down, you eventually niche back up. So that's what I saw. I saw that when you start, you just you spread your net wider a bit, and then you find the gaps, and then you niche down. Like for you, you are going to gyms, right?
Yeah.
But I believe you didn't start just right away from gym.
Yeah, I did broad, man.
Yeah, you did broad. You did a couple of things,
Yeah.
and then realized that okay, some are already oversaturated, there's still a gap.
Yeah.
So then you niche down to that gap, and then once you become a specialist in that, and you become good in that, you become a category king in that. That's where you can eventually niche back up, because now you already have a name. So that's what we did. Yeah, we niched down into real estate first. We did very well there. Then we niched back up to financial planning, to wellness, now to even certain traditional businesses like education and schools. So now we are a bit more broad. But when I first started out, it was really niche.
Awesome. That's nice, man. That's wonderful advice. Okay, last question, because you gotta go, right? You had 5 minutes and the whole world was watching you. What would you tell them right now?
I think really just be yourself, man. Yeah, I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned over the last few years. Be yourself. Learn to love yourself more. Learn to be more, not too hard on yourself sometimes. And when you are whole, when I mean like whole, like mentally, spiritually, emotionally, when you're whole, then you have a lot more to give to the world. If not, you're just a taker. Yeah. So I think that's what I would say.
Wow, that's quite deep, man. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it.